What's up, Brawlers? Deathblow here, back again with another coaching video. Really hoping to make these a regular weekly occurrence on Friday, so hopefully the submissions keep coming in. Just as a heads up, I don't have one ready to go for next week, so if you want to get your games coached, please do join the Discord with the link down below in the description. And there's a coaching submissions channel. Just upload your video to YouTube or to Google Drive and drop a link there in the Discord for me. I do not make videos out of all of them, but again, as I've said every time, so far I've been able to watch all of them and provide feedback by DMs. Please do make sure that there's audio in the game sounds in the video as well. I think it would be a little difficult to watch if there wasn't any background noise at all, since I'm watching and not keeping a running commentary the entire time. But yeah, that'll help if you do really want it to be a video, or if you just want the advice. You could even let me know in there as well. Say, hey, I'd rather this one be private, or something like that. I'm really just enjoying interacting with you all and trying to help you guys get better at Storybook Brawl. So let's get things started here. We're going to be watching J Stash's game. I don't have his rating at the beginning here. This isn't a game I've seen even one turn of, so everything is going to be off the cuff, and obviously this is a skip game. So nothing on turn one here. Just keep things moving along. Yeah, Vampire, definitely the right choice of the available options. Not the best first buy for skip. I feel like you can fall behind on it, but there was really no other actual viable alternatives here. So let's see how we do in the first combat. Perfect. We draw, and we even got one trigger. So that to me is the really important thing, to get the first one or two triggers. I think that's really, really impactful here. So this is going to be an interesting decision. I think there's a very good argument to be made for Brave Princess or the Ogre Princess. I'm going Ogre Princess because it's going to help me widen out my board, but I'm also locking the shop and buying the other one the next turn. More than likely. You don't have to do that for the Brave Princess, but again, I would really, really want Ogre Princess here if at all possible. So let's see what direction we go in. Yep, whichever one you buy was going to get the spell, and I'm curious if we're going to be locking. Ogre Princess is a lot like Lucky. I think the focus for skip is always gold efficiency, and this is a slightly different kind of gold efficiency, but worst case scenario, Ogre Princess is a 3-1 kitty cut purse, and I think that's just a pretty solid option. But especially on skip, when you're going to be behind and your board's going to be too narrow, I think you really want to prioritize it when you see it. And whether you bought it this turn or not, there's an argument to be made for starting the leveling process on the Brave Princess as soon as possible. But you at least would want to lock the Ogre Princess, in my opinion. That spell was clutch for you. All the slate triggers. Really, really good start. Really good start. Hard to say no to the 4-drop. Trying to decide if I could say no to it. Easier to justify it if you had the princess. But yeah. Don't know. Like, there's an argument for just the 3 and the 2, and I'm guessing that's the alternative that you're thinking about and looking at right now. But I've just seen Broccoli when bought in early, take over, and I really do agree with that purchase decision there. Just the highest value card could have picked up. Now it's almost enough to like solo them. Thankfully, it doesn't have to, because we want those slate triggers on the other minions. So we're stabilized. Incredibly early, 37 HP. I'm really looking at this right now, if I'm in your position, as this is a first place game. I just need to bring it home here. I don't like that buy. So I don't think that buy does too much for you. I accidentally skipped forward, but that's fine. Lets us know what we got. That was correct. Um, oh my goodness, Baby Root was definitely correct. Helps keep these alive to both attack. Um, Fairy Godmother's fine, but it's just a little counterproductive here. And I think I would have gone Soul Tack. Um, Again, not great. Not a great option, but it really sets you up for a Heartwood Elder or something along those lines. And really just worst case scenario, a Sporko makes it a pretty viable minion in combat straight out of the gate. So Soltak moving to 4, I think, made it a lot better. Great turn for us, multiple triggers, exactly what we're looking for. Not a great shop for you. A decent spell. It's a little late for Lucky, but I'm probably buying it. Um, but there's definitely an argument to be made for re-rolling or maybe just snapping off the spell to help ensure Brave Princess triggers. I have a hard time investing 4 gold in a Prince Arthur when I don't have a single upgrade that it's going to pump. And I know we're 1 away on the Brave Princess, but we don't even have a start on any other ones, and it just feels like it's going to be hard to get value. What did we do with our positioning? Bunch of correct things, so good job there. Nice. Yeah, still fully stabilized. This is just a phenomenal skip game. I will, in just about every circumstance, sell my soul for a peak at a 6 in this situation. So I'm spending my 8 gold buying Cupid, and then I'm going to hit it with the True Love's Kiss here. And then depending on what I get, I will make some decisions. So let's see what you go about doing. Yeah, I really don't mind at all if you buy the Shoulder Fairies and then True Love's Kiss Arthur, probably, because it just doesn't feel like it does very much. But again, I think your plan might change drastically based off of what you see from a 6-drop here. So let's wait and see. Okay, so we can't do it anymore. So the Arthur does almost nothing. Um, so that's the one I would have True Love's Kissed in the Arthur there if I'm hitting a 4-drop. Yeah, so I just want to go back. Even if you don't like my line there with buying the 5-drop and using that, we left the most optimal minion that we could have found on the board. I think that Shoulder Fairies is just super strong for you. Sure, it doesn't have massive toughness right now, but if you look at your board, it's going to be a 10-6 with what you have here. You switch these two, and it's a 10-8, and that's arguably your best minion on the board. I mean, it's very close to your best minion on the board. Obviously, the Vampire is a little better, But so I think we left the best minion we could have bought on the board, and then we also didn't take advantage of our high HP by going for the high variance peak at a 6-drop play. Something. Oh, you did lock here, actually. I missed that right at the end. I think that's pretty important. We still are able to get that shoulder fairy, so I feel a lot better about the decisions in the turn there. I can already tell. I think our problem is just going to be that we bought this Arthur and we're sticking to see. Um, Baby Root makes something bigger to pump the shoulder fairies, so it works with the shoulder fairies, and we're still holding an Arthur with it's just a 5/5. It does nothing for us. Um, so yeah, it's likely to be an issue. It might not be why you like lost that last round and why you like lost your kind of stabilized position, but it's definitely capping you going forward. Nice. Huge win. Didn't need the extra experience there, but so be it. Sting's pretty good in this situation. Pumps multiple minions, essentially, right? If I'm buying anything, it's going to be this apple tree, but I think the correct play is to roll this shop. You just hit 6, you just hit it early. You want to find a direction, you want to find something to build around, and you want to find it immediately. The only exception I think I would make, obviously, is another Nian or a high HP minion, right? Like even the Soltak we passed earlier. If we could pick up one of those, get this Arthur out of there, um, that would make the shoulder fairy significantly bigger. I'm also looking for more at this point. So I like the roll decision. I would have bought it. Again, there's got to get rid of that Arthur. Even with the added 2/2, none of those minions are permanent. Just play the 10/10 or 5/5. Even if it doesn't pump, right? It's just better overall stats for what, one more turn? What was your first minion? That's got to attack first every time. Unless you have a Grim Soul. It's always got to be number one. Playing against a dead player, I'm unironically very seriously considering a swap to dwarves because I saw this Lordy while the entire rest of the lobby, I think, just hit level 5. So, in fact, we played an experience spell. The lobby as a whole is one turn away from level 5. I think that's right. Um, I'm not, yeah, like I said, I'm not ironically considering a swap to dwarves because we saw it that early. I don't mind not doing it, which it clearly looks like you're not going to. It's a very hard decision to make. Um, but now we're just kind of, we're still directionless. We're still rudderless. So let's see what we can find. That's nice. Ambrosia's great. I also think Tree of Life was fine. Slap one of those fairies in that Ambrosia position. Gonna really bother me if that Arthur stays there, but it will make better use of it. I think that's a better consideration. This shoulder fairies is a 28. Much better than a 5/5. Even a 9/9 would come. Yeah. There's a very strong force pulling you into this Arthur, and we need to kill it. So you don't get any control, and obviously it's 1 and 4, right? That this attacks exactly where you don't want it to. But if you put it here, like it has to survive that lottery more than once. And even if, let's say, a 15/8 hits it before it attacks, now when it attacks and hits Shadow Assassin, it doesn't get to slay and it doesn't get to grow. So if you're going to play Jerry, again, unless you have a Grim Soul, which is obviously an exception here, position 1 has to attack right away. In this case, if it got attacked first, you'd still be dead in the water. But every other possible attack that you could have, if you'd have attacked first, any other attack you could have made other than that one would have gotten you the slay, would have made it 2-for-1 and a much choice for you. We'll just smack this dead player around a little bit. That's a great spell. I'm not casting it though because I'm still directionless, because I still have minions on the board I want to get rid of. I'm 6. It's still early. That's a lot of gold to invest. And it's less of an impact than, say, finding. I'm trying to think of like what the big, the Green Knight, right? Like if you find a Green Knight here, you're gonna pop off just because you have 2 shoulder fairies. So that's much more my focus than a spell in this situation. But again, it is a very good spell. I mean, it's fine to get rid of Vampire, but again, like what? We can't still be thinking we're going to be playing Royals, right? I feel like that can't be the thought. Like that. I think that's a pretty good board. Again, Jerry's better in 5 than it was in 2, but I'm just putting it in first. But I guess you want to get the, and I don't mind this at all, but you want the extra 10 attack to carry over to the 2 shoulder fairies. So I like that there's, I don't think I would prioritize it and worry about it. I'm much more worried about the slay trigger on the Jerry, because it can potentially, it can carry, it can just, I think, provide a little more value. But in terms of raw stats, this is significantly better. And there's just a very solid reasoning for this decision. So I think it's much more a matter of preference or play style, whether Jerry should be there or whether this Nian. Get these little characters attacking that Hercules. Okay, thank you. Now one of the big ones. Pretty good turn there. Boom, Green Knight. I know this isn't going to happen. Green Knight, place the Arthur. That'll have 60 toughness. Put it in the last position. That's another decent choice for last position too. I don't mind that slightest. I just want the dead cards out a little bit. So I think the fact that you arrived at this conclusion at this point supports that it was kind of my initial line of thinking, right? Like you eventually came around to it. Um, in pretty, I mean, honestly, in pretty decent time too. Like we're still in first place, 26, in very good position for this lobby. This feels like a win to me, so I'm curious where it goes wrong. I don't think you would have W. A first place W. Obviously, anything top 4 is a W. This player haven't upgraded. Oh my goodness. They didn't have a minion for the Mordred hero power, but we're fighting an upgraded Lordy. Just no other dwarves. Obviously changes things pretty significantly. It's a great hit. Oh, get out of our lobby. I'm considering that dragon. We've got Spike. Spike. I think so. We've got that there to pump it to a 20. We're losing 10 overall on the fairies if we make that swap here. But I'm still doing it. That is a, you're going to roll Ashwood. It's the same size as Jerry, plus it pumps this. Um, you put it in front of this, and it'll even be your new biggest evil minion, so it's instantly better than even that. So like this Ashwood is a missed opportunity. Don't know what comp you think you're playing. Hey, look at, we found it. Okay, good, excellent. Yeah, we are squarely a tree comp right. I'm selling my whole bench, buying the Echo Wood. I'm not putting it there. Um, I'm also selling the rest of my bench, and I'm buying the spell. We're going to lose this combat because of this decision. When you play Echowood within Tree Ants without Roundtable, we're talking position 1. At latest position 2. Actually, this won't be so bad because we have the double fairies. One of these fairies in the Ambrosia position is phenomenal here. Robin Wood's also pretty decent. But let's see. If you, I think I'm keeping the Green Knight there though. So I put Green Knight in this position. It's going to give 20. Yeah. And then you put the Echowood in position 1. It gets a significant pump from the shoulder fairies. So this was not a droppable minion. It pumps this one. It's your toughness as well. Just the only minion you couldn't have taken out. And there's just, this Niana's doing nothing anymore. Think we're gonna have enough juice? No chance. All right. We've got a 5, a 6, a 5, a 6, a 6, a 6, and a 5. The arc is out. Pandora's box stinks. I'm taking Evil Eye, getting the Green Knight back in. Pandora's box is good. Okay, good. I was gonna say it. I'm hoping it's coming across to players. It's fun. It's something you'll see streamers do a lot. It's something I'll do every so often just for content's sake. Not actually good. We've we've got to get the Green Knight back in here. Sure, right? Hercules, Hercules, Jerry, Nean gets sold. Buy that Robin Wood. Oh, I need to fix the aspect ratio changed on the video partway through it. That was a surprise. So we're gonna have to make do. There's gonna be the black bar on the outside. They apologized for the goofy aspect ratio to begin with, or the cropped footage. I'm guessing a windowed mode player. So if you're ever recording, full screen mode probably be the best. Oh, excellent! I'm super pumped. Get that shoulder fairy back in over this Hercules, and you're in business. Because it's not actually bigger, right? Look how big this Green Knight is. Bam, 60. I guess it is bigger because it gets an additional pump, but 60 is more than enough. And we're not getting this behind our Ashwoods. So this is the correct position. Both Ashwoods here. And then Echo Wood position 1. And then you can put your 2 shoulder fairies in 2 and 5. Yep. Singing Sword, it just beats the crud out of Sting. Exactly correct. Robin Wood should be in there over Hercules. So it's going to be just a positioning issue. Because even though there's differences, there's things I would do slightly different. Like we've still got a strong board. We're in a good position. Um, Again, not just like we're overthinking this. This is not a end of the comp minion when you're on trees, and that's until you get round table. Once you get round table, it honestly doesn't really matter where you put it. And putting it in last just for the doubled stats would probably be just fine. That feels like a bad attack, but it didn't matter. The only thing that could have gone better is it not attacking, right? And you letting it attack you. This. Hercules. So we're getting the positioning much better here. I really, really like that. Um, very close to exactly what we want. The only difference I have now is I would just be playing this over the Hercules, but I think that's debatable, right? Because we know this will actually be um, higher toughness, and that will impact the pumping that you get on all three of these. So we very much so arrived at the correct answer at the end, but there's just no reason why we haven't been doing this for a little. Yeah, we win. I feel very fortunate that we found some very good notes in a game that you did so well in and won. For anybody in the future, if you're submitting games, I no first places. There's a lot less to learn from critiquing your wins. Um, I think the mistakes you made were, I think, impactful and important. Like I said, we were very, very lucky to get as much as we did from this. But yeah, just in the future, no early exits, seventh, eighth places, but maybe a second or a third that you thought you could have won, or I thought you were seeing great cards from. And I think that'll make for a better video. But nonetheless, we were able to find some things, and I think give some good advice both to J Stash as well as anybody else watching at home. Let's see. Monarch. Okay, so we're very close to legend here now, and I think that did come through. Um, the mistakes I pointed out, or the differences in opinion that I pointed out, even I shouldn't just chalk them all up as mistakes, because they weren't. Some of them were more play style dependent and things like that. But I do think that comes through. Your ranking shines through in your gameplay. Got to the right comp, maybe just a turn or two slower to identify some correct positionings than I think you needed to be. But all things considered, a really strong game. Obviously, you won it, so everything else is almost nitpicky at this point. But you submitted it, so we shall nitpick to death. But yeah, I don't remember exactly what turns they were in, but this Arthur did nothing. From the time you bought it, it had no chance to see significant value. It just wasn't, I think, a smart gold investment. It on this turn? Oh, slightly before. I don't remember exactly where you bought it, but you only want that when you're in a very committed Royals composition, not when you have one and you might quest it soon or something like that. And don't be afraid to move off of things that just clearly aren't working or clearly don't fit a composition that you want to play, right? Like you almost have to drag me kicking and screaming into Royals. I just don't want to play it. It's not actively good at the moment. Miri is, and you can definitely make it work if you get the right draw. I think we showed that in a video this week, but for the most part, it just doesn't stack up to the other endgame compositions right now. You should be striving in your games to play Slay, mages, maybe animals. And those are really the three I would focus on. I'm sure I'm missing other ones. Pumpkin King, always good. Scam Comp's always good. But those are at least the three that I think are not artificially, what's the wrong word? But and not even propped up. But those are the ones that I think are strong in this meta that maybe they're value, their productiveness, their ability to win changed with the latest patch. The other ones, there's plenty of others that are still good, but yeah, those are the ones that shine when Good Boy stinks, because they just butchered it into the ground by continuing to nerf the character itself, as well as going way overboard on Magic Sword. It's funny, we all wanted it gone, right? We had different ideas how to do it. They took everybody's idea, doubled it, did it, and now it's completely dead. So they seem to have gotten away from the slow balance approach of like, let's chip away at it until it's in a good spot, and they're just going nuclear on stuff, which honestly fun. It gave us a very interesting, fun meta that feels very different from the ones in the past. So I have no overall complaints. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Thank you so much, JStash, for submitting this video. Thank you all for watching it. Really, really appreciate it. Please do, like I said at the top, submit your coaching videos. I need one for next Friday already. So do not hesitate. Don't feel like you're imposing, anything like that. Absolutely want to see your games, want to coach them up. And a good luck getting the legend, JStash. Really appreciate the submission. I hope you all have a great weekend. And until next time, Brawlers, I'll see you in my lobby.